Leaps of faith. Though it's written so moderately and in small letters, it's a big thing in life, I think. Because, and why I thought about it, does anybody knows what a leap of faith is? It's just when you take an opportunity and explore a terrain, what you know virtually nothing about, to progress and to develop. And it's like your breakthrough, a step into the unknown territory. And you wish and you try and you make efforts for it to be a good thing in your life. So why I thought about it, because in spring, you know, many change happens, like ice is breaking up, or new relationships, all things are rolling, all this momentum. So I want all us to share this. I want this to circulate, to be shared, to charge our batteries, to be exchanged. And that's why that's the topic of today. And first person which will be here and who will help us to keep this momentum will be our dear timer, Anna. And my question to you, what was your personal leap of faith? What was your personal breakthrough?
This year?
Anywhere.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe my first visit to Toastmasters.
Okay. Why it wasn't leap of faith?
No, because it was difficult and it has a great impact on my life. And I hope it will have even more.
Okay, I'm very happy to hear this. And you know, the timing, when you take a leap of faith, when you're going to have your breakthrough, the timing is really, really critical. Because if you take it in the wrong time, it can ruin things. And if you take it in the right time, you will enjoy it. So that's why the timer is a very important person here. So please explain your duties.
Thank you. Now you know that I'm a very serious and dangerous person.
Yeah.
And now I am going to explain you why I'm such a dangerous person. Because I will help you manage your time. Every speaker on this stage has time limits. And for prepared speeches we have limits from 5 minutes to 7. And to evaluation session we will have limits from 1 minute to 2. Then I show you a green signal. You will know that your speech is reached the minimum of its limits. And then I show you a yellow signal. It means you still have some time left. And then I show you red signal. It means you should leave the stage immediately. Well, I will write down about your serious message. And at the end of the meeting, I will have a short report about how you manage your time limits, and everybody who exceeded his limits will be told to everybody else. That's all.
Thank you. And our next member of the team is Matvey, who will introduce the thought of the day. And where's Matvey? We lost this team member. So any thoughts of the day? Just any leaps of faith? Any impromptu thoughts of the day? Like Ivan. And Ivan takes a leap of faith with the thought of the day.
Well, this will be an impromptu thought of the day. That's why I have a feeling that it will be a bad one, but still. So I'll just share my leap of faith. You know, I had a moment in life when everything was really bad. So my girlfriend left. I finished the university and I had no idea what to do with my life and so on. And I decided just to change everything, just to give up the things that I was doing, just to move and to come here to Moscow. It was like 3 years ago. And my life changed just drastically. And just because that moment, then I decided just to take the advantage. I knew no one here in Moscow, and I just decided, let's try, let's do something with this life, as I'm still young, hopefully. And I'm here in Toastmasters. I'm not sure if I have this success. I don't know what is success, but you know, these leaps of faith, they make your life, and they made you feel alive. Because, you know, who takes the risk drinks the champagne. Oh, good thought, basically. That's it, thank you.
But you can get addicted if you succeed too much.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully I won't.
And about our other members of the team. Are they here?
We had the timer in Matvey, which was I.
Yes.
And then we have Olga Bajinova, which is you. So we have everyone.
So we are free to choose which grammatical structures to use today because there's no person in charge to oversee us.
Freedom.
Yeah, so go loose. So also we don't have an R counter, but anyway, you know, to enjoy things, good better not do things like, but enjoy what you are doing. Just make it flow. Don't make those things don't suffer. Enjoy. And our first speaker, please welcome on the stage our first speaker, Dmitry Vazen. And Dmitry, what was your leap of faith in your life? What was your breakthrough?
Oh, this year?
Any
that's,
time of your life?
It's my English that I haven't used for some time. And when giving my first speech in Toastmasters, I discovered that it is still here.
Okay, that was great. Thank you for coming. And Dmitry's speech title is Climbing to the Next Level, just in line with our theme of the day. So, and his objective is to introduce himself, to break the ice, to build the momentum. So, I wish you luck.
Thank you, Olga, for introducing in this way my topic also. And dear guests, dear members, I am very happy to be with you today. And with this, in this springtime, I'll try to give a speech on in some metaphoric way about climbing the next level. 2 words about myself. What should you know? I have a technical background and I learned a lot from it. I had traveled extensively and I learned much more from this and from meeting new people there. And this mixture that I have inside my head result sometimes in some insights, some of them I'd like to share with you. Climbing was never my sport of choice. Nor was swimming, nor was horse riding. I was a bit a nerdy guy at my university time, and I still feel this way sometimes. My studies on signal processing at my university, you know, they deal with the same thing that computers do, with zeros and ones, like when there is signal and there is no signal, you know. And why am I speaking about this? We are sometimes look at things like just going one step up and draw it this way. But normally in signal processing the things are not as that simple. The things are like this. The signal was 0 and then it became 1. And that's the true nature of this physical process. And the same is in life. When you got here, that doesn't necessarily mean you will stay here. You may also drop back. You may suffer some disturbances, but in the end, you will get there. But the plot is like this. And what other things can we draw from here? We can first just touch our dream, for example, or we can just touch this kind of activity what we want to involve ourselves into. For example, when we ask newcomers to go on stage, we just give them the opportunity to be involved in our activity, and they can just get for a couple of minutes at this level and to feel how they feel in front of the audience, or is it their dream, or is it not? But it's not the only thing I would like to say. So we can see in many processes in our life this kind of phases. First, impulse, then stabilization, and maybe then expansion. Not all processes need expansion at the end. But the thing I want to share with you, that the impulse is a very important thing in life. When you, with your consciousness, you put yourself into some circumstances where you can explore new opportunities, when you get in connection with other worlds, and to see how do you feel there. So that's why it is crucial that you create a demo version of your dream. So if you want to move to some place, first go and live a couple of months there. If you want to learn to play a guitar, just learn a little piece of your choice, and you will just approach your dream and to see how do you feel there. So the 3 points I'd like to conclude with: that the connection with new activity is important, that the 3 phases, impulse, stabilization, and expansion are important, and that the demo version of a dream can serve you very well. You would be surprised how many things in life might describe applying this simple pattern. So, and how many things can be changed by seeing them in this way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, don't go away without a handshake. It was a pleasure to listen to you. Thank you. And our second speaker today is Ksenia Rashkova. Ksenia. So, welcome on stage. Relax a bit. And I would like to ask you about what was your greatest, most memorable experience about breakthroughs, leaps of faith?
I think that is for most Toastmasters. It was for me a leaps of faith to come here and take a stage and combine my English and trying to develop my public speaking skills. So it's a leaps of faith for me.
Thank you. We seem to be leapers of faith community here. And here's Ksenia Rashkova with her speech titled Happiness. And the purpose of her speech is to receive feedback. And you know, it's very important in communicating, in sharing, in exchanging with people. So it's a very interesting Toastmasters terrain. And so welcome on stage, Ksenia Rashkova, Happiness.
Good evening everyone. Today I will tell you about happiness. I won't give you any advice. There are lots of them, there are swarms of them in the internet, and I will give you a reason to think about happiness. Scrolling the VK news today, I came across with a quote. People can be seldom happy with their life, that they give the house as a neighbor's one, wife as a friend's one, salary as a boss one. They are purchase of their happiness all their life, and only in the end they realize that happiness is not in this. And this quote made me to think about this. And I would like to ask you a question. Do you know what is the happiness for you? And do you know how to achieve it? Now I want to speak the general sense of happiness. For me, all life can be divided into several spheres: friends, health, life balance, career, and family. And a person is happy when everything goes well in every sphere of this life. When he is healthy, when he is happy, when he can achieve certain success, when certain goals are achieved. And when he has favorable relations with his family, with his relatives, but it's not all. I think that from time to time it's very difficult to achieve these things, and the most important things are to keep the harmony between all these things, all the spheres of life, and to keep the harmony between inner world and outside world of the person. Have you achieved this? I hope yes, but there are still people who haven't achieved this, and to be honest, I haven't yet neither. But when my friend asked me a question, what makes me happy and if I'm really happy, I gave a positive answer. But why, if I haven't achieved this? The harmony and things that I strive to. The answer is simple. Happiness is not the possession of certain things. The happiness is action and process. And if you get pleasure from what you are doing, you are happy. Just enjoy what you are doing. Happiness is not only about money. And so we came to the second sense of happiness, the narrow one. Happiness is not something specific. Happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is what you are driven about, and it what makes you additional motion to additional stimul to go forward for years. For example, I'm sure that everyone can remember when and in what minutes of life he or she was especially happy. Certain things make us really happy. For example, when we look at the sky after heavy rains, we enjoy the rainbow and the freshness of the air. Yes, it's a really banal example, but the other one. When you suffered from the sleep deprivation for a long time, you are happy with if you slept soundly and wake up cheerful and happy. So, even we came across with dirty moments in our life, these moments help us to feel and to comprehend the happiness more brightly. In the end, I would like to say that it's really important to enjoy every moment of your life, and it's very, very important to fight for your happiness. Yes, you can strive for luxury things such as driving a car, a luxury car, such as living in an apartment in Moscow, in the center of Moscow, or a country house, but just get pleasure from what you are doing at this moment, and to concentrate and take pleasure from simple things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And have you taken pleasure from the speech?
No.
No, not yet. So, and any other happy people here in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, what a relief, thank you. And our third speaker, among at least a few happy people, is Polina Vlasova. Welcome on stage. And I want to know about your breakthroughs, about your leaps of faith.
Yeah, I thought about it 5 minutes ago, and my last leap of faith was getting a job, but it's not so difficult, it's good to see. And now the most leap of faith is to go out of home on weekends. It's really big deal for me.
Yeah, simple but big deal. Yeah. So welcome on stage Polina Vlasova with her speech, Why it is not earthly reason to change your life for the better. And it's about evaluation and feedback again, a very important part.
Yeah. Some days ago I thought about how my life standing better last month because I get a new job, get a new big climate of new people and great project, but generally I focused on one interesting thing. I have feeling that I again in my university when I was 20 years old, I spent half of a day greeting different people. I really eating so much and sleeping not enough time, and I meet many new people, but they behavior like the same people like in my university, and I feeling like my life just ran out of idea creating new people in my life, and it decided to randomly combine old part of people and creating my surroundings. And after that I remember a classification of Gustav Jung and socialist. It's a theory based on 1917, and the main material for creating socialist theory was reading creative Jung work, physiological types, but Jung said that he want making a label on people, but in 1917 socialists did not stop this opinion of Jung, and they creating a most important label of people. I counted like a 7, and you can find this type of people in school and university and your work. And there it is. Team leader, it's like Daenerys and Game of Thrones. Very diligent student who will do all work like Cinderella, and excellent student like Hermione Granger, who will teach all people which things they can do or not, and funny party goer, like guy which have many girlfriends, and sometimes he is really maybe annoying. And always company have strange creative students, it's usually me, and outsider, like in example Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Strange guys in our work, it's one guy, and he writing a book from 19 tomes like Game of Thrones. And after that I thinking about that only one person which I can't find on my new job like in university, which I really miss too. It's a good fat guy who always was very funny and had many knowledge in dietology, And yesterday I met that guy in the same t-shirt and the same hairstyle. It's like a copy of my old friend, but we have not talked already 10 years, and that's here combined around me. And now I started to understand the Buddhist philosophy about maybe life is not changing, always the same, never mind, you achieve your goals, you change your dress, you change cities. If people have only 7 types of characters and all companies have this combination, maybe it's never mind where you are, what life around you, it's always be the same, and maybe you just can relax and just see around the world, because globally everything is one. Thank you.
Probably a best takeaway from using socionics. Thank you. And now, the last but not least, Sergei Kuzin. And please check.
Slides on the desktop.
And I will take care. Anyway, Sergei, I need you for a little conversation, for you to take to tell us.
You want to go out?
No. Here. Just for a little public conversation. Yeah. And I want you to tell us about your leap of faith.
My leap of faith.
Yeah.
My biggest leap of faith was when I got married.
Biggest, smallest.
Biggest. The one that I remember now is the one that I got married.
Okay.
I never did it before. So.
Is it right for you?
And when you make that leap of faith, you've got to know that you will have to do it every day afterwards. So one big leap of faith of marriage is just the beginning. You'll have to repeat those leaps every day.
Thank you. I will use your idea, and definitely. And Sergei's speech is hook their loops, and I will not spill the beans, but please be attentive, listen and follow, because it's a kind of training. And Sergei's purpose is to get evaluation and feedback by training us. Be trained by training. So Sergei Kuzin, hook their loops.
Guess what's on the picture? Any ideas?
Sausages.
Sausages.
Something that is taken from a microscope, like a photo.
Yes, it's
of a glass.
zoomed in 1,000 times, and it's a Velcro. This one is zoomed in 100 times. Now you can guess what it is, right? The question is how this metaphor is related to the art of getting people's attention. Hooks represent your speech, and loops represent their attention. The problem is 9 out of 10 speeches don't get and don't hold your attention. The BBC News and the presentation magazine reported that 90% of what you hear at any presentation, including mine, will not be remembered in 24 hours. It goes into the thin air and disappears out of nowhere. The attention span is shrinking, and the attention span is the amount of time any audience is ready to dedicate to something that is not interesting. People are not ready to listen to anything that is not interesting. Research showed that it used to be 12 seconds in the year 2000, and it went down 25% of the year 2016. Now it's 8 seconds. So, if you talk longer than their attention span, you lose them. The best way to keep them is to use the so-called hook phrases. And in the next 5 minutes you will get hook phrases that will help you get people's attention no matter what the audience, no matter what the topic, and no matter what the length of your speech is. Don't write it down. Try to remember it. 3 types of hook phrases. Mental hook phrases, emotional hook phrases, and physical hook phrases. Let's talk about the mental. Examples of the mental hook phrases are remember that and imagine that. Remember how you and imagine how you. Remember how you talk to your loved one only to see that he's not listening. You were talking about something that is important to you and he was daydreaming. Isn't that